Hello, thank you for being in a new video. This time we have unboxing of the VIVO Y36. Let's get started. This device might sound a bit unknown, but it is a considerably interesting option. In Mexico, its launch price has been $. On the screen, you see the reference price in dollars. Although in the rest of the world, it seems to me that it is a much lower price that has been launched for this device. So it is an interesting alternative. In Mexico, it comes with V-Safe, which is this 2-year insurance alternative offered by the brand. And it also comes with AXA Insurance, which offers you protection against theft and against material damage. Obviously, you would have to read specifically its clauses, but it is interesting that a smartphone manufacturer comes with insurance included and with a 2-year warranty, which is something that generally no manufacturer offers. So let's take this device out of the box, but first let's look at what the manufacturer highlights in the box. For starters, we have a 6.64-inch screen with full HD plus resolution. I think in that aspect it complies well. It also offers us 44 watts charging, another point that I think is fine with 5000 milliamp battery. In this case, it simply tells us extended RAM and plenty of storage, so in a moment we will see the exact figures, and then it tells us that it has 50 megapixel camera, which I think is expected within a device of this price. Then let's take the device out of the box to find it. On the front again, it has a sticker with the same outstanding features that we already saw in the box, so we are going to remove this sticker. And on the back we realize that it has an interesting finish. First, we can confirm that it is a model of 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage. That for this price, I think if it exceeds our expectations, we are going to remove this sticker. And take a good look at the design, because aesthetically it seems to have a brushed design, although to the touch it is completely smooth, as it has a layer of acrylic on top, which also causes it to be a totally reflective design. I would have liked to see a brushed matte design. But, well, that's just a matter of personal taste. Honestly, it looks very good. Is a cell phone that we could categorize as beautiful, hopefully not sacrifice in other sections. Then let's turn it on while we see what else comes in the box. We find quick start guides that are generally very short, and pay attention because it includes a case. This case is completely transparent and completely flexible. Although it is obviously a simple case, but it is appreciated that it comes included in the box to give some level of protection to your device. But look what things are in this case. To be a unit that sent me for review, nothing more. They were wrong case, and this case is not exactly. Observe how it has no headphone jack, and the case has no headphone jack, and the camera module is larger. Then this case is not the one that comes included in the box. Forget about it. But let's see more details we have here. The tool to remove the SIM card tray. We will also find the charging cable and its charger that we already anticipated that it is 44 watts. And that's basically all that's included in the box. Next, I'm going to save everything again and set up the cell phone for an initial look at it. I already have the device configured, so let me tell you about its main specifications. We are going to find 202 grams of weight, and we have a thickness of 8.07 millimeters. The device comes with a plastic construction, so it is simple in that section, and its screen does not stand out too much either, although the resolution and the refresh rate is good as it goes up to 90 Hz. The technology will only be LCD, so we are not in front of a screen that can offer us super saturated colors and very intense contrasts. Although honestly, if you see it from the front, it looks good, but if you see it from the side, you may lose a lot of visibility, so the screen does not seem to me outstanding, just normal. The front camera is 16 megapixels with f2.45 aperture, so I think it is a good quality camera. Notice how in this case, before taking the picture, the result is still not well optimized, but after taking the picture it does balance lights and shadows. Well, in this case, the result is with the default mode, which includes a light beauty level to blur your face a little bit, but then I disabled the beauty to have a completely natural result. And the result, I think, is good in terms of light balance, although the color does not seem to be as accurate as we would like, but the result is good. I don't think the color seems to be as accurate as we would like, but well, we are not talking about a very expensive device on the back. We find the 50 megapixel camera accompanied by a 2 megapixel depth sensing camera and another 2 megapixel macro camera. These two cameras, I call them marketing cameras. So even though it looks like it has 3 cameras, I would really only consider it to have 1 camera. Fortunately, Vivo is a manufacturer that adds many options in the portrait mode, so notice how besides being able to choose the intensity of the blur we want to have, also includes a style of blur of hearts, of butterfly stars and other. Then if you can get to have good portrait effects to take advantage a little better camera of this device. Here I took a photograph of 50 megapixels to appreciate the level of detail that reaches the camera, and the truth is that it has good detail with this resolution. You can do some cropping of your photograph and still maintain a good resolution. The maximum zoom of this camera is 10x, and I think it is also well used, so in this sense I have nothing to complain about. This would be a portrait photograph. Note how the background is well out of focus, although with little intensity, and detected the edges well. Then in the review we will put a test a little more complex, but for now the first impression is that it does take good portrait pictures. In fact, after taking the picture you can still adjust the blur level in case you want to focus on another area, or also, as I say, you want to intensify the blur generated in the background so it takes good pictures and good portraits, at least first impression. It cannot record video in 4K, although I think it was expected, but if you want to record at 60 frames per second, reduce the resolution to 720p only then, I think we are not in front of a device that has great video recording capabilities. Fortunately, it keeps the full HD resolution when you activate the stabilization. It comes with Android and comes with 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, which is what I was telling you is one of its strongest points. It even adds another 8 GB of virtual RAM, which is an option that cannot be disabled or modified. But the processor is the Snapdragon 680, a processor that does not get to highlight too much, is not a bad processor, will give you a sufficiently smooth performance, but you could definitely find better options. We are going to apply a benchmark test to see more or less what will be the performance that this processor can give us, although we have already tested it in multiple devices and it is a processor that usually comes to fulfill, but obviously for this price we would like a more powerful processor, although on average most devices in Mexico bring this same processor in this price range. Confirming that in Mexico, cellular phones are exorbitantly expensive thanks to our friend Telcel. Finally finished the benchmark test, and as you can see the result shows us a weak processor, or at least only with what is necessary. 415 points in single core and 1471 points in multi-core. I insist that it is not going to be a slow device, especially because it has good RAM, but if you are going to use it for gaming or for powerful things, surely you could buy something better for this price. For the moment, we have reached the end of this video. If you liked it, you know you can tell us, and we'll see you next time.